we gonna be talking about the week 2 breakdown and everything else that went down this week. First of all, good job to everyone who played the game on time, everybody who made the contact to hit up the other person. Congrats. So we're gonna start off the breakdown with basically the player of the week. Just a quick reminder, player of the week last week on the NFC side was, for the offense, was Braxton Miller, making the transition from wide receiver to quarterback and had a heck of a game. Then up on the AFC side was T.Y. Hilton. On the defensive side of player of the week, we have Deion Buchanan. And on the AFC side of the week, we have Damien Collins. So week 2, fellas, to all 32 owners who's in BOE, once again, congrats on a successful week 2. This time we actually had one major issue that we had to take care of. So remember, fellas, this is your league. I know we're all playing for a trophy at the end of the season and medals, but we're keeping it sim, we're keeping it respectful, we're keeping it sportsman. So I don't want you to run up the score when you up 44, when you're already up 30 something to 0. That you're trying to score a touchdown with 5 seconds left. Don't do it. That's unsportsmanlike. I don't want to see it again. That shouldn't happen. And then also I got some complaints about people running the same formation, the same plays. I've talked to people about it. Oh, that's getting taken care of. So good job to you guys. Congratulations for the week. Moving on. Starting with the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. So Offensive Player of the Week on the NFC side was Doug Martin, the muscle hamster, with 15 carries, 208 rushing yards, and an average of 13.9 rushing attempts, with 4 rushing TDs. That is amazing. Doug Martin was playing as if he was playing against high school kids out there. Congrats to Duke on that. Next, we have on the AFC side, the old man is still here and he's showing that he's still here. Steve Smith with 8 receptions, a buck 77 yards on an average of 22 yards per reception with 2 TDs. Now we all know Steve Smith came back out of retirement to give this season a go, and he shows he still has the juice that made him who he is. Steve Smith Sr. still going out there doing work. On the NFC side, on Defensive Player of the Week, we have your boy Amos from the free safety from the Bears, who's been traded to the Panthers on a trade that they kind of involved with the rookie from the Bears. So he had finished it with 6 tackles, 2 picks, and a TD. Now, those are 3 complications of their game. That was the game that was disclosing earlier, where he was already up and he still scored with 5 seconds left in the game, and he was already up by 30-something. That's not going to be allowed. We frown upon that. Unsportsmanship is not a good thing. You got to respect. All adults should respect to the other player. They already lost the game. No need for you to score a touchdown with 5 seconds left when you're already up by 30-something. Moving on. AFC Defensive Player of the Week goes to Janoris Jenkins from the Miami Dolphins. He finished the game with 8 tackles, 1 sack, and a pick. Good job to you guys. Good job, fellas. Now moving on to the weekly recap of week 2. We're gonna go over player. We're probably gonna nominate 3, and then I'm gonna pick one based on how I look at the stats and who to play and what the game was. There was a lot that came down to the wire on week 2. I'll tell you that much. So we're gonna start off with this game, the Jets versus the Bills. This game was actually a blowout, but they lost connection, so the Jets end up telling me to give the Bills a win, because the Bills is winning bigly. So Big Ons went against Stu. Stu still keeping his hot streak going. He got the win at home, moving on to 2-0. Congrats to you on that. Now this game was, as you can see, we really touched base on it with Carolina. Going up against Burn a lot 49ers. The 49ers came in this game unprepared, unrested, and unmatched. Carolina just did everything they wanted. They did it how they did it, and like the great Gary Green says, they are who we thought they were. And that's what Carolina proved to the 49ers. With defense was swarming, offense was scoring. It was just one of those games that 49ers took pride in, went back home, and they said they would never let this happen again. As you can see, Carolina went up 10-0 in the first, then they went up 24 before halftime, and no one scored the third quarter until the fourth quarter where Carolina just poured it on them, which they should have pulled off a little. But 4 turnovers would do that to you. But as you can see, total yards gained from both sides. None of them broke 300 yards. It was just a defensive game, and Carolina was the benefactor of 4 turnovers. So, good job in that game with the hiccup. We discussed that. Moving on. Next game here. This was a nail biter from what I was hearing going back and forth in the chat. High-scoring game at that. As you can see, we had the background crowd excited for this week. Jalen's out there yelling, getting excited for the next week. But this game was, from what I heard, this was a great game. Look at the stats, went over a few things, and it showed that defense prevailed in the end for Washington. Dallas came back in the fourth quarter, but Washington's early lead going into half was what really made them prevail over this game. We start off in the first quarter. Dallas drove it down the field, scored an opening touchdown. Washington kicks back, drives down the field in the second possession, scored a touchdown, but missed the extra point. Yes, the extra point is very crucial in this game. Now, then Washington capitalized on a turnover, 2 turns in the second half, and went up by 3, basically went up by 2 extra scores. They went into halftime very excited with a big lead. Dallas in the third quarter forced a turnover, scored off it in the third quarter. Washington, same thing, drove down the field, extra point, not their forte. Fourth quarter, now this is where it becomes interesting. The fourth quarter, Dallas was not trying to go away. They kept this game tight to the wire, and the last minute score by Washington was a deciding factor. Great game, fellas. I look forward to more games. It's a division rival game. It's always going to be tough. Abolish. X-Room. I'm proud of you, fellas. Good job. Keep it up, Blue. Keep it up, Abolish. Moving on. The Saints and Giants game. This was one of the games in beginning. If you remember the ending of week 1 updates, we were saying that this could be one of the games to watch as Donnell was the underdog. The Giants was the underdog going into last week, and they prevailed. So I said, you know what? I bet against them. This time, when we was going through our weekly picks of teams and wins, I said, hey, let me give the new guy a shot. But I was like, no, I can't do it because it's playing sweet. They expect a veteran to come into this match and win this game undisputed and not a problem addict with maybe a little few hiccups, or maybe the game might be closed. I predicted it to be 28-14. It was actually 33-13, so that's pretty close. So with this game, Sweet's offense was just too much for Donnell to handle. The Giants went back. The Giants at home didn't know really much what to do. So we have fun at work. They didn't really know what to do. They couldn't handle what the Saints brought. Drew Brees and Who Dat was ready to play, and Who Dat sure came in and said, Who Dat say they gonna beat the Saints. Good job, fellas. I'm proud of you on that. Next, we have Tennessee and the Lions. Now we all know what happened with Tennessee week 1. They was probably one of the nominations for Game of the Week as they edged out myself with a 15-12 win on a last-minute drive on a 89-yard drive of Marcus Mariota to win the game. He converted 4 fourth downs on that game-winning clutch drive to win the game. So, Tennessee was going into Detroit after a clutch performance. They went to Detroit, and the defense smothered Matthew Stafford with sacks. As you can see here, the game went when Detroit's favor in the opening. You know, Stafford was in groove early. Got a pass deep. Got the touchdown. They was feeling real good. Second quarter, Marcus Mariota and his young Tennessee Titans defense stepped up. They was able to take the lead going into halftime. Third quarter, the game was tight. Mariota got a score. fourth quarter, this is where the game went away. The first drive, the Lions scored, kept the game within 2. Could not get a third down key stop. That third down key stop made Marcus Mariota and the Titans drive for the first touchdown of the fourth quarter. And that is what changed the game, because the next possession they had an interception, the second turnover of the Lions, and that was the backbreaker. Tennessee went and closed out the game in the deciding seconds of the fourth quarter. Good job, fellas. Good game. Now we're moving on to the game where we have the NFC side offensive player of the week in Doug Martin in Arizona. Now we actually have a special call in today. We actually was able to get one of the coaches on the line here. So let me see if he's still there. Hey Duke, are you here with us? Yeah. Yes, sir. So we're gonna go over you guys' game plan with Arizona. So we seen you guys executed perfectly. You guys did what you had to do. You did what you got to do at home. I mean, there was a few things that we heard, but your game plan was to get in there, get the win in Arizona, play some smothering defense, and get the offense going. And you guys did that. Can you tell us a little bit about your game? Okay. All right. Well, congrats once again. Congrats on the win. I know you're probably gonna want to rest the muscle hamster. I'm sure you probably tell your players that they're not gonna practice for that win that they had on Sunday. You're probably gonna give them a day off. Well, congrats. Good luck to the rest of the season to you guys, and we'll look forward to hearing more, seeing you more on the set. Have a great day, sir. Next, we're gonna be going over. We're gonna be going back into going over to Atlanta and the Raiders game. Now this game was actually closer than what the score indicates. This game, there was a turnover early and a turnover late that what really decided this game, as I'm going to show you guys real fast. As you can see here, 2 picks by Carr to 1 pick by Ryan, right? The first pick by Carr was what made Atlanta actually go up 9 points going into halftime. Now, this game in the third quarter is really where things changed. In the third quarter was when Carr actually threw his second pick, and this was what Atlanta could not capitalize on. Matty Ice and his boys, instead of scoring off the Carr's second pick, gave the ball right back to Oakland, and Oakland was able to capitalize in the fourth quarter and end the game 21-15. Hell of a game, fellas. Good job. I'm proud of you, Big Papi, and I'm proud of you, Rambo. Good job to you. Good job to you guys. Nice game. Keep it up. Now, next game here. This is a game of heavyweights. We had Andrew Luck, who was coming up offensive player of the week on the AFC side in the first week, who just cruised control through his first game. Was going up against Denver and Frantu, who they kind of cruised. They kind of had a tough battle, and they had to win in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So Denver came into this game saying they did not want it to go to the fourth quarter again because they just edged out a close Carolina game in the first week. And this is what happened again. Hell of a game. It came down to the fourth quarter, and the defensive play, like they say, defense wins championship, was what changed this game. And that's exactly what made Denver win. We tried to reach out to both coaches. Actually, we tried to reach out to the winning coach, Denver. Sorry about that. We didn't reach out to the coach, to try to get an intake of this game. We couldn't get him on the phone. We talked to one of his players. They basically told us it was a tough game. Only the key turnover in the game was what prevailed them to win it in the fourth quarter by a field goal. The game-winning field goal came off a drive that came off a turnover. That's the type of games that you want to see. Last minute slugfest, wire to wire. I'm proud of you guys. But the time possession, this is why this game is tricky. I'm going to show you guys one thing. What is it? You see this time possession? See? 8-19. Remember that. 8-19. Look at the score. 7-0. 14-28. 7-0. 0-3. And if you ask me, how do I know that time this was low? Before I do the script, every team I go through every stats and everything like that, so I'm well prepared. But yeah, so Denver really survived off the defense and scoring quick on plays, while Indy took too much time and it bit them in the butt in the end. It took a lot of time with the clock. It was driving, converting, driving. They was wearing down this Denver defense. But at the end of the day, Denver's defense is what won the game. Good job, fellas. Heck of a game. This might be one of the playoff matches we might be seeing later on in the future. We was talking about it earlier, but we'll see. This might be one of the playoff matches later on when the season goes on that they might meet, these two might meet again. And who knows? If you beat me once, you might beat me again. If you beat me once, I know what you do. I might beat you a second time. This is the type of game you want to see. Fan 2, Psychotic. Good luck to you guys. Good rest of the season. Enjoy. Now, there's 2 more games. That was one other game's actually getting nominated for Game of the Week. We did 2 more games, and then the Week 2 updates is over. This game right here is my game against Gob. This game was honestly ridiculous. From the first kickoff to the last minute overtime touchdown. This is one of those games that you had to watch to really get a feel for. The game was one of the wildest Madden games I've played on 17 so far. There was no clear-cut winner. The way the game flow was going, I dominated the first. He dominated the second quarter. He dominated the third. I dominated the fourth. But it wasn't like domination as in meaning we scored amount of points. No, as you can see, 3-3, 6-0, 8-7, 7-0. Like I said, first quarter, he took the second and third. I took the fourth quarter to make it go to overtime. Now, this is the key thing. This is what wins games for you. Turnovers. We was able to force him to throw 4 picks. Those picks was crucial as he threw 2 on the goal line. One on his drive to get to score before going to overtime. We stopped the drive, forcing the pick to go to overtime. And then in overtime, he drove it 90 yards. 90, let me say this again, 90 yards in overtime just to throw a pick off a fade route. And Trey Waynes saved the game for the Vikings. After the Trey Waynes pick, we was able to drive down in 4 plays and get the winning touchdown on a post route to Stephon Diggs. That was a game down to the wire. Third down conversion of both teams are serious. As you can see, 5 conversions. Red zone touchdowns is close, and he kept me on time possession. He was converting every third down he took in the third quarter. I was getting upset. We was dropping picks. It was a hitting game. It was a divisional game. He knew what I was doing. I knew what I was going to do. This is another one of those games that could be a future playoff game. Stay tuned on that one. We'll see how that goes. Good luck to you, Gob. The rest of the season. I know I'm going to be seeing you again in Lambeau, and hopefully we can escape with a win there. Now, last game we're going to go over is against Philly and Chicago. This game was actually one of the featured games at the end of week 1 when it was featured in week 2. We'll say this could be a featured game of the week. This game did not disappoint. They had a very, very good game. Philly kind of downplayed a little to the level of Chicago and was shocked by how accurate Braxton Miller was. Philly underplayed the transition from wide receiver to quarterback. So Philly went in this game knowing Braxton Miller was not, they had a game plan. They was not going to allow Braxton Miller to get anything off. They was going to give him a welcome to the NFL rookie type of game. Chicago, knowing this, countered with safe, subtle dinks and dunks and with little over-the-top passes here and there. This is this crucialness here, as you can see in the passing yard, and you can see his rushing yard. Philly played a well-balanced game. Ran the ball, pounded it, passed the ball. Ran the ball, pounded it, passed the ball. They kept Chicago early. Game was tied. Kept them tight in going into halftime. After halftime is when Chicago kind of got away. Talked to Oklahoma. The coach is so upset about this game. They thought they was gonna, win this game against Braxton Miller's rookie in his first game against them. Braxton Miller and the Chiracs, as their coach likes to call them. They came into this game prepared. They said, "Hey, look, we're gonna hit you in the mouth. We ain't gonna stop hitting you, Chirac. Hit you in the mouth, and we ain't gonna stop hitting you." And until they lose, they won their first 2 games convincingly with Braxton Miller. Still shocked. This is possible, but they got the job done. Heck of a game by both of them. As you can see, the third down conversions was what killed Philly. They couldn't get the third down when they needed it the most in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter when they was driving to tie the game up, which was what forced them to the turnover. They just could not get the stop, and they couldn't convert at all. Time of possession in this is very close, as you can see. Very, very close. This is one of the only games that his time of possession was close. Every other game we looked at, one person either had 17, the person had 9. This game, like I said, they were both exchanging points and exchanging games early. What hurt Philly was the last minute pick after the second half and just could not convert on third down. They was punting while Chicago was scoring. Defense was championship, fellas. Good game. You guys might meet again in the playoffs. Who knows? It's one of those things that can happen in the BOE world. Good job to you guys. Now, we had 3 nominations for Game of the Week. We had Chicago versus Eagles. We had myself versus the Packers. And then we have the Colts versus Denver. Upon going through the stats and everything else and the fashion the games ended, Game of the Week is actually going to go to myself and Gob. So they'll be featured on the bus. They're going to be featured on the bus to go along with last week's Game of the Week of the 49ers. So congrats to them. Good luck. Good luck for this game to Gob. Good luck to myself also. But Goblin played a heck of a game. We earned the game of the week for week 2 to go along with the people who won the game of the week for week 1. Now every game of the week winner, at the end of the season, you find out what's going to happen. But congrats to that. That was a heck of a game. It was a hard decision. As you can see, it's funny that the 3 nominations actually ended in a row. The late afternoon game, the Sunday night brawler, and then the Monday night cruncher. And it was all 3 of them was nominated early in week 1 going into week 3, and all 3 of them did not disappoint. Congrats to every coach. Now we're going to look forward to week 3. In week 3, as you can see, we have a nice matchup here in Trey Bones and Biz. Now, this is a warning to both of you. You both missed a game, 2 more games, and you're getting replaced. We have people on the waiting list waiting to play, so you got communications going on, fellas. We have Saint going up against Stu. It should be a great game. Saint is still very, very upset that they had Doug Martin run all over them last week. And now they have faced LeSean McCoy. They are ready to wash that bad taste out their mouth. Then we got the Raiders going up against the Titans. Tennessee has won. Tennessee has won their last 2 games. Why'd you try to flip for? Tennessee has won their last 2 games convincingly. They're gonna go into the Raiders and Rambo. They're gonna be at home versus the Raiders, and Rambo's trying to show him that hey, we could win in Tennessee. Then we have the Redskins versus the Giants. The Giants came off of a great week 1 win, a devastating week 2 loss. They're at home versus the bitter arch rival, the Skins. Josh Norman, Odell Beckham. We knew what happened when these 2 met up on one long Sunday ago. Should be an interesting game. Good luck to you fellas. Here we have the Browns and the Dolphins. This should be an interesting game because KC won his first game convincingly. The Browns has missed a game, so he hasn't won in also. Missed 2 more games. He'll be replaced. We have almost 11 people on the waiting list, so we could really fill spots fast. Thank you to the waiting list people. I know one of you guys watched the stream. I appreciate that. Now this game here is interesting because Moan and Kai somewhat familiar with each other. They're both BOE vets. They've been around BOE for maybe 7-6 years. I'm not sure if Mona's ever beat Kai though. So this should be an interesting battle. Could he finally beat him? Kai's usually a Seahawks to the Panthers. So we'll see what happens. Mo's a loyal Ravens fan. He's a diehard Ravens fan like my wife. They're both Ravens fans. Whatever, purple, Pats all day. But onto other things. I'm joking around. I had to tease y'all. So over here, now this game is going to be interesting because, as you know, Lions Packers, tight game, divisional. They know each other. Packers just came off a devastating loss in overtime. Lions came off a shellacking. They was beat, punched early, and just couldn't recuperate. So could the Lions go into Lambeau, where it's frigid and tough to beat the Packers, and get the upset win? Or can Green Bay overcome their overtime loss and just tame the beast in the Lions? We'll see. This game we have Poison versus Fan 2. Poison coming off a win. Fan 2 coming for second week in a row. Last minute win. Week 1 he did it against the Panthers. Week 2 he did it against the Colts. Is the Broncos gonna keep defending and wait until the end of the fourth quarter to get their wins? Is that how they're gonna play their game? Because if that is so, they might not get the chances that they're gonna get going into a tough Ohio Stadium, where the Bengals are looking to continue their win streak and get this win going on. We'll see how it goes. Should be a game. I'm going to nominate this one as one of the games of the week to watch. So we have 3 nominations that we can nominate. I'm going to nominate that one. I'm going to move on to this game here. Now, All or Nothing came off a 44-0 win last week. So the Panthers are feeling confident at home. I'm coming into the stadium knowing how confident they are. We're looking to basically kill that confidence. Should be an interesting game. We'll see how that goes. They come up 44-0 win. We're coming up on an emotional overtime victory. So, confidence, emotional outcome. We're going to see who's going to win. Right now, the balance is head. They know they could do this. They just blew out a good team. We're coming up beating a good team in overtime. So, we'll see how that balance, that skill goes. Overconfidence to emotional victory. We'll see who the deciding factor wins in the end. Now we have Doug Martin and Duke going into St. Louis. St. Louis is actually going on vacation soon. So Duke, if they don't play before he leaves, Duke's going to get the beneficiary of this one. We're going to move on to Drake, who recently just joined, versus Byrne. This should be an interesting game because Byrne's very upset about that beating that they just received. It's not a good thing to be shut out, but to be shut out 44-0, even though there was questionable calls and questionable things in that game, Byrne is ready to burn that loss, and they're ready to come into Seattle and, try to give it to the 12th man. We'll see how that goes. Good luck to you two. Then we have Big Ons going on to KC. Now we all know Arrowhead, yes, they like to pump noise into the yes, we all think they point, noise into their stadium. It's one of the toughest places to play. Jets and Revis Island, people been saying it's been decreasing. Revis Island is not the island it used to be. Revis Island now is like a tour. You just stop, look at it, enjoy, have a party, set a ship on it, set your house on it, park an RV on it. It's not what it used to be. But Revis Island may be going through a sweeping and shut down Alex Smith this week. That is what we'll see. Alex Smith, Jeremy Maclin, Eric Berry. Should be a great game. Jamal Charles is here to say, look, we're coming for it. We're going to fly through the Jets, and Arrowhead's going to defend his turf. We'll see how that game goes. Now we have Cali Kid and Word of Psychotics. Now, Cali Kid, they come up from an emotional game last week. Psychotics also losing last minute in the fourth quarter to Denver when they was in Mile High Stadium. Could they get over that? While they're hosting the Chargers, could they get over that? They lost a tight one in Mile High. You should feel confident about that, but we'll see how emotional the players were when they get on the field. Losing a close game when they basically had it. We'll see how it goes. Good luck to you, Coach Chargers. This game right here, the Steel City is going to the brotherly love of Philadelphia. We'll see how it goes when the Black Curtain meets the Angry Birds of Philadelphia. We all know them Eagle fans are evil and they always angry and for no reason. I'm joking with y'all, with y'all Eagles fan. I don't need anything from y'all. But it should be a good game. Forever is a solid player. Oklahoma's a solid player. I look forward to seeing this game. We'll nominate this game for the second game of the week. Good luck to you fellas. It should be a good game. Now this game right here is going to be my third nomination for game of the week. It's a Sunday night game against Breezy, the Bears, and Abolish, the Cowboys. Now Abolish just got off a last minute loss last week, so they kind of overfeeling it. Braxton Miller is on this tour of the NFL where he's just been doing his thing. Could the Cowboys defense finally contain the quarterback turn wide receiver quarterback? That's the question to think about. Braxton Miller has averaged 300 yards and 4 TDs in the first 2 games. Let me repeat this. Braxton Miller has averaged 300 yards and 4 TDs in 2 games. Ezekiel Elliott, another outstanding rookie drafted this year. Could he run on the Bears to victory? Or are they going to let Braxton Miller continue his tour of dominance at the QB position? Look forward to the ending of that game. Good luck to you fellas. Now the last game of week 2, the Monday night, is going to be in New Orleans. The original Dirty Bird primetime. Don't do that, that's nasty. The original primetime Dirty Birds versus the Saints. This game should be interesting down to the wire. How you gonna put that in there? You didn't want to drink it. You are a weird little boy. You know that? That's disgusting. Don't do that. So we have the Dirty Birds, like I said, prime time, going into New Orleans with the Saints. Are you gonna get up? Okay. I know. Going to New Orleans with the Saints. Should be a great game. We'll see how it ends. This one, I don't know how it's gonna go, because I got Sweet, and I got Big Papi. They've played each other before in the past. With Sweets being the Bills, Big Papi being Atlanta. No, he wasn't Atlanta. He was somebody else. I can't remember what team he was. He wasn't the Bucks. I know that. But should be a good game. That's the end of the week 3 weekly updates. We have those 3 teams for play 3 game of the weeks that we nominated. One of those 3 will end up winning game of the week, maybe, or somebody else will take it. Who knows? Just because we're nominating them early, they could be blowout games, and one of the other games, the early morning games, could be game of the week. Once again, this is the week 2 BOE weekly update. Keep up the good work, guys. If you have any issues, DM, tag me, hit the subscribe button down there. Follow on either on Instagram or the YouTube. Weekly updates is always going to be here. As we all know, we're all playing for a Super Bowl trophy. We're all playing for divisional rights. There's a lot that's going on. We're still working on the website for the league itself. And once we get that, the podcast will be up shortly with that. So let's just keep at it. Keep the sportsmanship. Keep following the rules. This is all adults. We're all looking for assembly. We're not looking for lobby. So keep it up, fellas. I'm proud of you guys. The 3 people I talked to this week, I talked to you guys. The waiting list is strong because the waiting list hits me up every day. They're waiting to take a spot. So don't let them take that spot. They're loyal waiting list. This is the first time we've had a loyal waiting list that it started at 18 and now it's at 11 because I've been adding those other people to other people's league who need people. But good job, fellas. I'm proud of you guys. Continue to work. This is the BOE Road to the Super Bowl. Week 3 updates. Enjoy. See you guys at the end of week 3. Have a good one. Over Stars. Head Commish. BOE. Mucker Boy.